Peace, love, and understanding, y'all. It is Mandel, the YouTube and I67A. And today, I'm in the mood to really analyze evolution I've seen in a YouTuber in the community. And I have much respect for him and also for Preach. We're here to talk about the birth of evil Abba. Sorry, I tried to, piece that together. And yo, listen, I rock with all of these guys. I watch them consistently and all that. But as a consumer, I just I feel that it's fair to have a voice too, to speak on certain transitions. No puns intended. You know what I'm saying? So now, what I want to show you right now is a video from January 7th this year. Because I'm not sure when to pinpoint that I noticed the birth of evil Abba. Tongue twister, huh? But I know that the progression was amongst a period of time that I'm trying to at least gauge and measure out now. So look at the joy, man. Look at the joy of these two. Look at the joy of these two. Of course, as business partners, you're always gonna have situations where you may have disagreements. But with these two, their disagreements, when publicized, it created content, and they have fans across the whole YouTube platform that really appreciate these guys. Me being one of them, I appreciate these guys. So now Abba has gone along and he started talking about trans women in sports, which is a man transitioning into a woman and then going on and ahead and participating in these events and smashing records, taking opportunities from women who've trained and dreamed about making an impact on the world and something that they feel that they're gifted at. And I fall along the lines of saying that it's robbing an opportunity, but we're not even gonna talk about that yet. We're talking about the birth of evil Abba. Let me get some liquid courage going right now, cause yo, listen. I mean, I don't care too much about being liked, but I do sometimes want to be a likable person, as opposed to being the retrospect, the opposite, which is a deplorable, disliked person in perspective, so. Let me get some liquid courage going. Now, I do believe that there are many factors that I don't know. I only know what, they show us. But from what I can, from the evidence that we do have, we know that this whole trans topic was very impactful in his moves going forward, his content going forward. So let's just revisit around the time that I think that he wasn't evil Abba yet, because and tell me if I'm wrong, if I'm bugging. You know, I've just been watching YouTube consistently for like a year now, like probably a year and a half or so. So maybe there are people who know, nah, this has always been him. He chilled for a while. You probably called him while he was chilling, but this has always been him. Like, please let me know. But let's revisit some times that I feel the change was more, subtle.
Yo, and if you guys are aware, he wrote an article in 2015 talking about how he let his wife go out and get with another man, and it made him alpha. So, personally, okay, I don't care what people do. If you want me to cuckold and whatever, I don't care, okay? His outburst and his reaction to her bringing it up, and she had no idea. She was really surprised by it. She didn't even know about the article. But again, it's one of those things I said, right? Alpha, all this other stuff, can't control his emotions, has these outbursts, right? And it's always telling how a little bit of pressure, a little bit of this, fuck you, heartfelt. You fucking bitch. Like, no, sincerely, fuck you. Only white people do that too. You never know?
Alright, let's move
today's
on.
topic. Since we did part 1 on Jubilee, we'll do the second part.
I'm Gabri.
I'm Dennis.
This is 3 months. This is more recent. This is the what do you call this? The featured video on their page. Right? I seen that one. We're gonna go through this. My fault. I don't have an editor. I don't do the editing thing, so we're gonna go through this, right? What I wanna do is I wanna find the first video that he started talking about trans in sports. Okay, so they were talking about this from 4 years ago. Yo, look at young Alba. Wait, Preach used to stand on the right. See, I never watched them back in the day about this. But anyway. I'm trying to see, cause I remember the video. I just don't remember which video it was, but I remember the video when I noticed, like, he must be having a bad day. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't the same energy, but let me see. Let's see. Maybe it was the red pill.
Your clients have a dream, a vision for retirement.
It's starting to come back to me. Like, yo, there was a video where he was being mad sarcastic, and it's like, you could tell, like, he's like, hold on.
But they often talk about the nuclear family.
I think I like the way I sound talking this sarcastic.
It's like the nuclear family is dying, feminism is killing it or has killed it, and et cetera, et cetera. These women are not built for making families. So I'm like, okay, I'm not mad at it. You can say that a lot of modern changes that we've made to society definitely do not enable us, right, to have the same type of families that we used to have. Agreed?
Agreed.
When you preach to people that they need to get 50 bodies before they can really settle down, how is that contributing to the nuclear family?
Just be careful how you use my name. Just kidding.
Your name? Did I say your name?
You said Preach.
Oh.
I'm just kidding, man.
Yeah. My question stands.
Go ahead. How does that
joy? The joy is still like a twinkle of creativity. But the joy ain't there, you know what I'm saying? You could tell. Maybe I'm bugging. Maybe I'm just overthinking, looking too much into it. All that, maybe. Who knows? This is just my take.
if you preach that, how does that contribute? I mean, you could say that. I really tried. I tried to have nothing.
My question is, how are a lot of these things in any way conducive to building the nuclear family? Some of these dudes are talking about having like multiple wives and doing all this stuff. Do you think that's the nuclear family?
It's not.
You know, where you got multiple wives, you got to split your time with in different families. How is that contributing to a stable household? You running out here raising your chances.
But I mean, there's something.
No, but you running out here raising the chances of having your kids out of wedlock with strangers that you don't even know. You only like them for their looks. Like, how is that choosing, one, a good mother for your kids, and two, creating a stable environment for them when you don't want to be with the mother? Like, I just find it funny sometimes, where it honestly feels like we're always pulling at two extremes, right? It's like these people are like, the nuclear family. It's like, well, what are you contributing to make sure that that thing is staying intact? You're not.
The satire is much more serious toned. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's coming across to me. Like, beyond the topic that they're talking about, because it's just a market. They're marketing to people who, everybody has their own interests, and some people, their interests change. We all remember when we were all like into, I don't know, smoking, partying, all that. You grow up, you slow down, you know what I'm saying? Your interests change, but the market for partying and smoking is still there. You still see that commercial on TV about this, or hear this commercial on the radio about that. But it rings different in your ear now. You're just marketing. It's a vacuum. That whole conversation about the red pill and hypergamy and all that Fresh and Fit be talking about and all that, it's a vacuum, because there's no real end to the conversation. If you really like go through the thought process of it and all that, there's no end to the conversation, because it's a never ending. Shorties want to marry because they're being taught that that's a part of the life experience. Guys are falling out of the idea of marriage because they're realizing that, wait, I can go on ahead and have intercourse with this female and not, have to be waking up to her every day, or hearing her problems. I could go on to the next one and all that, right? And then you got the spirit side of it, where they're like, oh, you're soul tying. You get what I'm saying? You can't do that. It's just gonna have too many dimensions to it. You're making something very simple very complicated for no reason, but it's a market. Some people enjoy that dysfunction and that chaos. But besides that, we're talking about his composure and demeanor now, as opposed to the video I just played, which was only a month or so after, because that video was early this year. This is February this year, right? I'm just seeing if y'all see the progression. Right? Maybe I'm bugging.
Right? It's become now a self-preservation thing from women and from men.
Yes,
Right?
which is understandable.
Right? Women are basically saying, I've been fucked over by society for so long. I didn't have any autonomy. None of my dreams mattered. I was basically told to breed and stay at home and cook and clean. So, no, I'm an individual who wants to do shit. So I'm going to go live my best life. Birth control exists. I want to have all this sexual freedom, right? And women are now discovering that, hey, listen, going around fucking every dude on the block is actually not rewarding. Then you have the opposite end of the spectrum, where it's guys, right? And now guys are kind of being left behind, right? Their place in the world is almost gone.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're not in school.
They're not needed.
They're told that they don't want it, right? Women can do all bad by themselves, right? They're being pushed out of education, a lot of workplaces, even the dating market. There's far more male versions than there's going to be female versions generally. The odds you get laid as an average dude or ugly dude.
All right. Cool. Because I don't want to get too caught up on the topic, but just want y'all to notice the demeanor. What he's saying, of course, we all have our opinions and, about it. I fully agree with what he's talking about, in the sense of I can understand of when women collectively get fed up of how things were when the world is evolving. I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? It's not really the point of the conversation that we're having here. So, yeah, if that's what, I don't even know if that's what we're gonna talk about. That's what we're gonna talk about. But let's go. And see, as much as, cause they do talk about it a lot, the trans situation, as much as they talk about it, I'm going through the videos, recent videos, and you're not seeing a lot of it until boom, it finally really does, hit. But for the most part, even though it was a series, you could tell he tried to show some strength. Yeah, pardon me, y'all. I'm just trying to find a good one so we can really get into the conversation. I know when it seems that I'm unprepared and all that, it could come across as he's reaching, but just bear with me.
Today's topic seems some Twitch streamers got banned for using the C word. No, the other one.
Crit?
No, the other one. The one that white people feel no type of way about.
What our floor is doing.
Yes, what our floor is doing. Exactly.
So, alright, boom. Look, so they arch nemesis HOm0phob, right? I've never watched this man's video, never heard of him until these two brought him up. Now, there's a video that they touched on where he's championing for the LGBTQ community's trans people. And he gets into a debate where he's very uninformed about what he's speaking on, and somebody from the community called him out on it. They talk about it, but let me just try to remember this one. I don't know if I even want to get into this one, but let's let it run.
Stop cracking!
Who's the clip that got him?
Why it's not the same in the video that you refused to watch and just wrote that argument against? Who are you arguing against? Who asked? Who said this? Did I say, oh my God, saltine cracker? Like, people are just bitter because it's saltine cracker. That's not what I said. You dumb cracker bitch.
I had a little bit of vitriol in it. I had a little bit of oomph in it.
That was a punch.
Yeah.
And let me also point out that this video is also before the video the January 7 video that I initially showed. Just see if the demeanors are the same. Just tell me if I'm bugging.
It wasn't what he said. It's
No, it's how he said it. It's really that. Because I was like, fine the first time you said it. The second one, I was like, whoa. Hey, yo, what are you doing, my dude?
So the topic came up, and these Hassan, I think he's like some form of Arab, but he might be Armenian, or some people who had genocide. I don't remember. People got lynched, or like they're kind of still here, but they're not, or they're mad about something. Blood, oil, cake. All right, today's topic, since we did part one on Jubilees, one of those people, okay? So people got upset because they're like, listen, using slurs against white folks is fine. Or some slurs are acceptable because there isn't a system of oppression behind it.
Yes, of course.
It's only when you punch up that it's acceptable. Punching down is
Same rhetoric.
No. He actually said those words.
Yeah.
He says, I'm very mean and aggressive when I'm punching up, meaning towards white folks. Okay, that's pretty much what it means. So, the topic came up. Should folks be able to use slurs on these platforms against white folks? What are your thoughts?
Alright.
Google Career Certificates provide online job training that's fast and flexible. Learn at your own pace and get job ready with less than 10 hours of study a week. Put your skills to work with a Google Career
A
Certificate.
trans woman who broke the world record in some sport. I think it was swimming.
When Leah Thomas dives into the pool, she could be sealing her place in NCAA history. The standout swimmer from the University of Pennsylvania will compete to become the first Division I openly transgender athlete to be crowned a national champion. The UPenn swim team posted this picture of Leah and two teammates poolside. Here they are, all three of our NCAA superstars. Her stellar season has smashed records, but also courted a wave of controversy, with some fellow athletes and parents concerned that Thomas has an unfair physical advantage. Thomas spent 3 seasons competing on the UPenn men's swim team and spoke candidly in December about her struggle during that time.
My mental health was not very good. There was a lot of unease about basically just feeling trapped in my body.
She has now completed 34 months of hormone replacement therapy, surpassing the 12-month NCAA requirement.
Yo, let's get something clear. Let's get something clear, because I get triggered the same way I do. When people try to force me to call men women and women men and all this other stuff. It's the same thing. I'm just speaking to the people I'm just speaking to relatability. It's just think of it as the same thing as when a woman gets married and she's offended when you call her Miss this or Miss that. She's like, no, it's Mrs. In your mind, you're like, really? But for the sake of being a bigger person and seeing the outcome of leading with that example and seeing the outcome, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, of being the beacon of a better existence. Like, okay. Because one thing that I've learned, some people exterminate themselves and some people indict themselves. You don't gotta do much. You ever had a situation where like somebody did something to you and it's burning in your mind, like, yo, I'm gonna get my get back. You feel me? But then it's like, but then later on down the line, you see something happen to that person or a situation involving that, and it's like, wow, that's what they get. I didn't even have to do nothing. I don't know. That happened. I've dealt with that, and I've come to learn that, yo, I gotta be careful with the way that I treat and deal with people out here, cause when it come back around, whether I feel like I got a one up on them when situations happen to me, it gives them a way to go on ahead and say, yeah, that's what you get. You know what I'm saying? So I just try to look at things in that sense. But back to the point. I don't believe in saying, yo, if we know that you're this, for all of us to have to say, yo, you're that. Like, nah. I don't believe that, but for the most part, for the sake of not creating an argument, be what you want to be. Just take that example. I'm going to be what I want to be. I'm going to say how I want to say. I'm going to try to censor and gauge my words because I see that it's not a safe climate around you because of your disposition and all that. But cool, for the sake of not arguing, you feel me? And then splitting from whatever situation or conversation it is amicably. Yeah, whatever. You got it, sir. You got it.
Meant to compete on the women's team.
Hey, what's up?
I can continue to do the sport I love as my authentic self.
It's left her teammates split, some sending a letter of public support, writing in part that Thomas and all transgender college athletes deserve to be able to participate in safe and welcoming athletic environments. While others have spoken out in opposition, one anonymous teammate tells the Philadelphia Inquirer she's concerned about physical advantages that don't, she says, give the other women a fair shot.
It's very difficult to focus when there's a lot of hatred and vitriol around you.
Skylar Baylor was the first openly transgender D1 athlete on a men's team. He flew to Atlanta this week to show his support for Leah.
But we have to put our heads underwater and swim. And Leah has done an incredible job of that.
You know what's funny about Skylar?
What?
He went from female to man, right? So he was born a female,
Yeah.
transitioned to a man.
Yeah.
Literally won nothing.
Yeah.
This dude he was a decent swimmer.
When he was a dude.
Was he male, right? Then she transitioned to be a woman, broke the record.
Yeah.
Which is, again, more of the same that I've said, so you guys may not get the craziest energy from me, but peep the game. They're talking about, oh my God, it's so hard to swim when you got hatred and vitriol. Well, why are people so upset? You're not going to address that? You're just going to skip over that? Cool. Just notice, it's hard to swim when people hate you. Why are they saying all this stuff? Is it just out of nowhere? Is it born of nothingness? Or maybe there's some credence? No? Okay, all right, let's sweep it under the rug. Let's not talk about it.
But she shouldn't have to put her blinders on. So many of us before Leah have tried to say, hey, we exist, to hopefully make the world a little bit more ready, right, for the next trans athlete.
What? What's that? What's that? Someone said...
Alright, so what he's basically saying is, if you're somebody that everybody is telling, like not just 1, 2, 3 people, not just your friends, family, and strangers, and neighbors and all that, multiple people are telling you, like the whole group, parts of the whole group are telling you, yo, this ain't right though. You wrong though. Right? And instead of taking a step back to look in the mirror and say, what are they saying I'm wrong for though? Right? Instead of doing that, you're here going full force, doubling down even more, like putting your foot on it more, like nah. And in that respect, yo, when the world is coming at you, sometimes all you can do is swing back. That's it. You're not gonna go beat yourself up too. You're not gonna help the world beat you up too. So again, it's like two sides that hold a value to what, you know what I'm saying? This side is, yo, if 10 people come and tell you drunk, bro. Like, I know you wanna be like, nah, fuck them 10 people, man. They don't know what the hell they talking about, man. I ain't drunk. What? But standard is, I'm sorry, it's just the way the world is. I grew up in it too. Standard is 10 people tell you, yo, you drunk. Now, this is where it ties down to, it's like that depends on your perspective. But this is the court of public opinion right here. You know what I'm saying? And the other side, I understand where it's like, yo, I don't care if all of y'all say I'm wrong. Now I'm right. Y'all bugging. I hear that part too. You feel me? A lot of the greats had to push through a lot of rejection and a lot of resistance, you know? So I hear it. Listen, I got no dog in this fight. Let me tell you that much. I don't.
Say something about unfair, huh? Huh? What's that?
Alright, listen. We gonna move on to another video real quick. Alright. So I think that was here goes another one about trans and all that. I really want to get into the
Stuff. We love stuff, and there's some really great stuff out there. But I doubt that.
Hold on, wait. Before we get into that, I'm gonna get into that. But yeah, is his name Hassan? Is that the same dude? I thought it was Hassan Piker or something like that. Listen, I don't know. I don't even think it's that important, right? It's not, right? Alright, cool.
She's 17. He? I don't know. I didn't hear what you said.
My pronouns are he, she, they.
Oh.
Yo, I know I didn't give enough attention and spotlight to preach in this video. So, let's do that right now. Preach. Take that hat off, bro. Take that hat off, bro. You look like a cartoon character, my mans. And I wanted you to see. I wanted to see you punch Fresh in his face. You said he was gonna punch. You said you was gonna fight him. You said he was gonna squabble up with him. Listen, I would have been entertaining to see. Set it up. We'll pay money. I'll pay the money. I got 5 bands to see that fight. Straight like that. I know y'all. Listen, y'all would want to see it too. I got 5 bands to see that fight. Straight like that. Just, make it a charity event so I can get it back in Texas. So, you know what I'm saying? He needs it, man.
He's 17?
Yo, I'm not gonna fly. What does that even mean when your pronouns are he, she, they?
Well, it's Michael Jackson and a lot of people.
You know what's mad funny about that? The first time he said it hit harder the second time, bro. That joke was funny. That was funny.
Let me bring this bitch back. We haven't seen her in a minute, nigga. Nigga.
You ass. You.
I want y'all to understand though, like everything has to do with everything. So in a sense, nothing has to do with nothing. But listen to what I'm saying. You know that cracking sound on the floor is a cast member of this production crew? I'm trying to tell you, you probably don't know, but there are 3 entities that are here. That we're here hearing and all that, that's getting their commentary. It's 3. You think it's just Abba and Preach. It's Abba and Preach on the creaky floor. Trust me. I know what I'm talking about. Part of me.
Hey, that's what it means.
That's a 10 out of 10. That's a 10 out of 10.
Don't ever ask me what that means. The minute you asked, you knew I was about to say.
Hold on. Y'all clowning my glasses. Don't clown my glasses. I don't do that. Come on, man. That's not even a topic. That's not even a topic for the conversation. I'll do a whole other video and we could talk about the glasses, but don't talk about the glasses, man. I got bad eyesight. What, man? Sheesh. Sue me.
Say something stupid because you saw my face.
I mean, I was setting it up, but you came in with a home run, nigga. Bases loaded. 4 walkers. The team gave up. That was crazy. That's funny. Alright, let's keep watching.
Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5!
I'm not gonna lie, as Michael Jackson to a lot of people was funnier. Oh, here we go.
This is what goes on at university? I thought y'all was doing sororities and fraternities and learning and higher education. Like this ain't no community college. Not to shit on nobody who got their degree from community college or any of the community colleges that do provide education for people who are trying to find it. I'm not shitting on them. I'm just saying this is what goes. This is what y'all pay money for. This is what y'all go into depth to do. Like, come on. So you telling me? Because when I hear anti-trans, all I hear is somebody who... Matter of fact, let me not even lie, because there's some people who really be taking things to an extreme. But just take off the anti-trans part. I know y'all want to add it. But just take that part off. Texas House candidate. This man is trying to run for politics. He's trying to be in politics. He's trying to make a change. Granted, he's anti-trans, and I can see how that would go on ahead and deter you from wanting to hear what he has to say. But y'all spent money? I guess, man. Listen, again, I don't want to minimize anything anybody in or from either side is doing. You know what I'm saying? Because I can only relate from an outsider looking in, honestly. So I just wouldn't spend. Maybe I'm just broke, cheap, cost efficient, whatever you want to call it. Maybe I just don't get it. Like, maybe they went through high school, paid their tuition for this moment right here. Maybe.
Alright, so before we really get into this video,
I want to know, what is a fascist? See, I'm telling y'all, I'm ignorant to how do you even spell it? Fascist? No, I spelled it wrong anyway. Is a form of far-right authoritarian alternate. What? Listen, I ain't been in school for a minute, y'all. Hold on. Ultranationalism characterized by dictatorial power, forcible suppression of opposition, and strong regimentation of society and the economy that rose to prominence in the early 20th century Europe. So it's just being far right, and believing in dictatorial power and forcible suppression of opposition. So, like, people who were for slavery and stuff like that, and like Nazis, and I'm just trying to come up with examples in my mind so it sticks, you know what I'm saying? I've always heard the word, I've never taken a moment to really look it up, but alright.
a little bit of context. Basically, somebody that he's running for Senate in Texas essentially was coming to the school to do a talk, and a bunch of protesters showed up. Some of them apparently are not part of the school, but they felt some type of way about his anti-trans sentiments. He's also the same person. You remember that story about a father who was fighting his ex-wife because their kid was transitioning? Basically, like, she was making their kid wear dresses while the kid was at her home, but then when the kid was at his father's home, the child would wear normal clothes, and so there was a big battle. It was all over the news media. You remember that?
Yeah.
That's the same guy.
That's the same guy.
Okay, so he's a focal point. He's also said some stuff that basically trans folks don't exist, etc., etc. So it shows up to the school, and this is what happens.
She grabbed my hand.
I think the person was saying the gender was he, and he was saying she. And the girl goes, he! And then he goes, she! And then the whole class goes, he! And then he goes, she again.
I mean, that's hip-hop. He, she. That's
this
hip
might
hop.
be the most rhythm white people have ever had.
Yeah.
White people was killing it. I was like,
she,
fuck you, bitch.
she,
Click, you clean. West side, when we ride, when we play with games. Okay,
that's my, they had me put.
hey, yo. He, we big booties. We out here doing it with the dudes, the females, the ladies. We coming through with the babies, the killers, the maybes, the maybes, the stadies, the sadists, the Baileys, the Gillies, the Baileys, the Philanies, the Mounties.
My thing is, I don't know how people can't rap. Like, I know how people can't rap well, but like, you know, I've never understood that. Like, yo, why do y'all put these people that can speak to a beat good on such a high pedestal? Like, it's not something everybody should be able to just be able to formulate a rhyme. I don't know. And if you could speak so well, why can't you make it make sense? I don't know. I guess it's just on the spot and a lot of gears turning at the same time or something.
Put that shit back.
No, I'm in a hip hop mode.
Don't this shit make a nigga wanna eat? See, don't this shit make a nigga wanna eat? See, don't this shit make a nigga wanna eat? See, don't this shit.
Hey man, I'm not even gonna front. We the only two niggas who could turn a little bit of transphobia into hip hop. Yo, hold up. You know what? I'm Marquise. I'm gonna need you to make.
Marquise, please don't. He didn't even say your name right. I don't know where he gets the L from. Listen, bro, it's all respect still. We just here discussing. No hate. But it looks like his name is Marquise. And please, Marquise, do not make that.
Make a song with me right now. Okay?
Yeah. Don't this shit make a nigga wanna act a fool?
Yeah. Okay, jokes aside. Me personally, and I've said this before, I don't give a shit what gender pronoun you want. If you say you want to be identified as he, I'll use he. If you want to say you want me to use she, I'll use she. I don't give a fuck. I don't use the they, them, her. I don't use they, okay? But he, she, I'm fine with, alright? So me, this is not even an argument I would ever get into. Someone says he, I'm like, sure. It's just like using whatever name. I don't give a fuck. So to me, this is a pointless little back and forth that I haven't feels unnecessary. Just wanted to say that.
Is this motherfucker transphobe to you?
Yes.
Very.
When he says trans people don't exist, I'm like, bruh, gender dysphoria is a real thing.
This is real.
Okay? But let's keep watching.
Sorry, dysphoria. A state of unease or generalized dissatisfaction with life. Okay.
She spat on me.
Oh shit.
She took off her mask.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's hip hop.
Snatch mask off! Snatch spit off! No, okay. Alright, no more hip hop reference. But, yeah.
No more?
Hey, police, I just got spit on.
I appreciate that in this classroom in these COVID times.
Like, yo, this is too much time, too much energy geared and directed and projected in the wrong direction, man. Like, real talk. But hey, this is what they do. You know what I'm talking about.
It's like half of them have their mask on, some of them don't have their mask on.
Yeah.
Some of them take their mask off to yell something.
It's Texas.
Yeah, that's weird.
They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It really do hit different when a trans person tells you, yo, suck my dick. What? It's already disrespectful to the highest level. So that's like transcending, that's like ultra instinct fucking disrespect. You get what I'm saying? Like, and then if you get into any altercation or anything, it's over. That's a whole hate crime, sir. You know what I'm saying? Just to show you how, like, modern day society is just really geared to his side whenever a voice is loud enough and has enough backing and there's an agenda that it supports and all that, just to show you how power can sway. You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy.
There's something funny about a trans woman saying "suck my fat." I don't know why. Didn't I remember I told you last time when a trans person says "S my D," it hits a little different.
It is.
Yeah,
It's different.
because you gotta start thinking like, but how much have you transitioned really?
That's none of my business.
It's not my business. But it just sounds different.
Your daughters are sweetheart. Her name is Luna, not the dead man that you keep calling her.
I gotta say that.
It's Sir!
Sorry, man.
It's Sir! Is that respectful? Is it respectful right here? He's a man! He's a man! He's more of a man than you are! He's more of a man than you are!
You gotta listen. He actually believes that if someone disagrees with something, you can stand up and spit on it. That's how
Nah, bring it back. Bring it back to the pulling up of the pants. She not done with him yet.
someone disagrees with something, you can stand up
I mean, he not done with him yet. I don't know. My fault. Sir!
and spit on it. That's how
The thing is, that's the thing. You can't ask for respect if you disrespect.
I agree, but I think
But
there's a
if
difference.
you feel disrespected, then
You can't spit on somebody.
You still, if you feel disrespected,
What that was right there. What this is right here, this little still frame right here. This is Abba saying, you think you know a God? And this is Preach saying, yeah, nigga, I'll spit on somebody. Nigga. Like, Abba is on some, yo, you spit on somebody, you don't really care about your life. You really don't. You could think you're the toughest in the world, but you ready to go at that point, because anything could go down. Pardon me. Anything could go down. So, you spit on somebody in this world, just know they may not get at you, but that karma coming back is gonna remember you spit on somebody. It's gonna remember you spit on somebody. Preacher's like, nigga, whatever.
and then after that you come up and you spit on somebody, that's assault.
It is.
Yeah, you're gonna have to take off the hat. Just because the shadows hide your eyes.
That's hip hop.
The shadows hide your eyes. That's why.
That's the thing is that he disrespected you. Yeah, you don't have to respect him.
Yeah.
Right?
Take the hat off.
He wants respect, but he's disrespecting everybody. Right? But her, she wants respect. She spits on someone. You up the ante a bit. That's assault. But you're vexed. I can get it. I get that.
But just so we don't stray too much off topic, because right now we're just looking at demeanors. We're not really trying to go into the video so much. See, I almost got dragged into that one. No bad. But alright, boom. So we went over this one, right? I think we could start getting into the Hassan ones. Alright.
Work falling through the cracks? You need a sauna. See everything in one place. Manage requests.
There's a method to my madness, y'all.
Today's topic seems somebody wanted to respond to a video we did.
I love the argument. I don't even need to see it. I don't even need to see it to know what the argument is, which is going to be, and I'm going to tell you right now, the argument is probably going to be, no, it is unnatural to be trans. Because that's how it, literally, when you argue with fucking transphobes, the only argument they have is relying on what other people also feel about trans people, because it's a normative position and fucking transphobic.
But the thing is, that's the thing.
I'm gonna let you talk.
What we meant by that is being trans is not but transitioning is. But
Let me do one better.
hold
I
on.
told you one better. It's not what we meant. It's literally what we said. I watched it back. We didn't say being trans is unnatural.
No.
We said transitioning is. Hormone therapy, all this stuff, all of it's very natural. You know, taking puberty blockers or like hormone blockers, taking all this stuff, perfectly natural. He really said that transitioning is natural. It's not. I'm not saying that this gender dysphoria is not natural. That's not what we're talking about. Transitioning is nothing natural.
It's like saying that taking steroids is natural. It's not. I know.
Yeah. That's what we meant. That's literally what we said.
I know.
Yeah.
And he's just not gonna watch it and deem us transphobe. So if listen, dude, if you're gonna watch something and do commentary with something said and not watch what they said and build a narrative, you haven't said anything. That's the dumbest way to do a tape. That's the dumbest way to dispute someone's narrative or whatever. I don't know, it's because you don't have any arguments or whatever on that, and you base yourself on, oh, this is what they do. This is what they do. That's what they do. You, for someone that don't want to be typecasted, that's just weird that you do that. But whatever.
Hey. You're just saying that because you're a transphobe.
Yes, sure.
Let's keep watching.
God, fucking 10-hour. I covered this shit for like 10 fucking hours and they cut like 30 seconds to go, this is so stupid. Trans people are weird and unnatural. And then everyone's like, POG! Fuck yeah!
Thursday to my BBs in here.
Dumbass. Abbott and Preach were the ones that were DMCA for criticizing Fresh and Fit? Wait, what? Really? They're actually, I don't know anything about them. So they are actually not bad? What the fuck? Oh, but they said my C-word ban was good, like I deserved it, and I was a racist for saying cracker.
That's also not what we said.
What? What the fuck?
Hey man, we have one Jordan Pearson moment. What you said was, what you're saying is, that's not what we said.
I'm nothing. You know what?
Let me just keep
watching.
You
No.
know what?
Just no. Just no. This is so stupid and asinine. Like, you put work. That's how you build your narrative? You're just gonna lie about the whole thing? Ah, you stupid fuck. That's the thing, alright? I really want a motherfucker to be able to explain to me his point of view. That's just all I want.
Yo, stop talking about my glasses. They said hi. Just cut it out. Leave it alone.
Want to have a conversation with a motherfucker. But no, you dumbass bitch. You're just gonna invent shit. You're low. You invent shit. That's what you do. Like, what is it with you? You're not smart enough to dispute or just to say what you...
See, alright, I'm glad I let you say it first so you could remind me to say it. Word. He seems like one of those people who just, because they can talk fast and use words that people don't normally use, people take his word as smart. When in all actuality, no, he's just talented. But it's about using that talent in the right means, doing the right research, doing the right study. Like, that's something that made Mike Tyson great. Not only was he talented, he also studied the people he was about to fight. He actually sat there and learned how to become better, even though he was, quote unquote, the best. So, you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to take away from either side. I'm not trying to propel either side. I'm just saying, like, there's a clip I seen of the Hassan dude when they were talking about him. I think it's the same one or the next one I'll make sure, where he was reading something mad fast, and it's like, you see me, I struggle with my reading. I'm not the smartest dude. I'm not the, smartest pea in the pod, but I ain't no dumb nigga though. You know what I'm saying? I put that in the air first. Like, listen. So, and it's a gift to be able to see, like, the different characters, be able to, like, take a peek behind the curtains, so to speak. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's continue.
To take a point that someone says and go on that point, you gotta lie?
It's easier to straw man something.
Like, you stupid. Is it because you're stupid or you're not able to do it? What is it? Which one is it?
When the hate don't work.
You know your shit. You've been talking about that shit a whole lot of time. It's really simple. Listen to what we gotta say and then go on that. But you gotta lie? Like, how dumb are you? You know you're dumb. You're not mentally capable. Don't push me like that for me to stop. I'm not stopping. You know you're not mentally fucking capable of doing this.
The birth of evil preach? Hold on.
Shit, is that what it is? What is it? That's gotta lie?
Let's just watch the whole thing and see what they got.
God damn. Stop. No. Hey, I remember one time we had a fucking conversation and you told me about, I told you I was on you because of ghosting. It's like, well, why you ghost? You owe these motherfuckers an explanation. It's like, no, I don't hold these motherfuckers shit because they didn't have the courtesy. They didn't have the courtesy to see that I was annoyed, and they were annoying me and they were getting on my nerves, and they didn't have no courtesy there, so I don't have to show them courtesy. I have to show this motherfucker courtesy of listening to his video. When he don't listen, he don't bother, he just makes shit up.
Hey, but he's accusing us of doing the same thing in that when we reacted to the clip. You get what I'm saying? And so now we've only reacted to a certain segment. Let's watch it in its entirety. All right? And then we can go in.
This is some stupid shit.
We can go in.
We already went in.
Well, I'm just saying. Let's give it a second.
We don't even have to go in. We just have to open the door and watch how fucking shit it is. Oh, look. There's fucking must and debris everywhere.
Hey, dookie smells. Let's go.
Dookie smells.
Why not? Why is it assuming the argument at least? Because I made a fucking promise that I wasn't gonna engage with like idiotic bad faith fucking debates, okay? That's why.
I think so he's accusing you what you accusing him. He's saying we in bad faith, all this other stuff. So, you know what I mean? It's back and forth.
But he just acknowledged that he didn't fucking even watch the video. At least we went on what he said.
Yeah, and his statement in the vacuum was
He don't care. He's basically saying that. He's smarter than you preach. That's what he's saying. He's saying, "Oh, I could just look at this guy and tell I'm better." What he's saying, basura.
idiotic. It's not like we were looking at his whole stance in totality.
That's why, because I know for a fact that it literally doesn't go into any other area. It just simply is, I will do a thoughtful and fucking, 30-minute to 40-minute analysis on what they said, what they got wrong, and then they will turn around and clip something and basically, use that as a video opportunity.
Well, what video opportunity? Like, hold up. You're acting like we took a 30-second clip and made a 10-minute video on you.
What video opportunity?
You know what I'm saying? Like, if we just took one clip as a more ensemble to showcase how stupid a lot of these opinions surrounding transports are. It's not to say that I've reacted to his entirety, so don't get so butthurt, bro.
Man, listen, I think we could just go into the next one, right? Listen, if y'all wanted the whole thing, go over the Abba and Preach page. They got it. I think I'm being fair.
It's time to take action. Start by talking to your doctor to see if Discovia is right for you. Whether you and your doctor just...
Our old good buddy Shank's nephew made a reply video to us, so I made a little summary for you guys who don't want to watch a 5-hour stream, so here it is.
A while ago, these guys that I don't know anything about, okay, and still don't know anything about, made a video, I think, about, title is true, Haas and I be called as transphobes, hear why. And then the answer is, because we're transphobes, transphobic, transphobia, transphobic, transphobes, transphobic.
That's right it.
No, there's another like 35.
So, I'm gonna take a lesson from these two, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna change the title. It seems like I should be using different don't worry, give me a second. Let me just fix the business real quick. I mean, can you edit the video while you're doing the video? I'm not sure. I hope I can. You know what? I'm gonna let it live for right now.
Transphobes in there, but I'm gonna save them for later. For those of you.
And for educational purposes, shout out HOm0phob, shout out Kev Row to you, shout out Hassan, Dolly Diamonds, Corinne Blizz, the plainest Jane, she got a channel taken, but hopefully she come back. Miss 504, Kwame Brown, Gravity Takeout, Auburn Preach, of course, Jordan Towers, Jordan Towers Films, you know what I'm saying, Vlad, Math, call me kinfolk. Shout out the whole YouTube community. If I miss anybody, you know, Russell Brand, Reese, all of y'all. Shout out all of y'all. But for educational purposes, we're gonna look up the word transphobic. And we're also gonna look up the word HOM0phobic. And then for a bonus, cause I'm not lying to y'all, I'm really doing this for educational purposes. We're gonna look up the meaning of phobia. Oh, y'all see where I'm going with this already? See? I messed it up. I should have saved it for later, right? I should have said, y'all see where I'm going with this already? Y'all smart.
You guys are a little bit confused. You guys don't know who Hasanabi is. Hassan Piker is the nephew of Shank Uger, who owns TYT, the Young Turks Network. And Hasanabi himself, he's a political streamer who's always on Twitch. He also happens to be a millionaire socialist. Yes. What?
That don't make sense.
The millionaire socialist?
I mean, that don't make sense.
What?
That don't make sense.
Because when he says socialist, it means he's into like the redistribution of chlamydia, not actual money.
Oh, okay.
It's a little bit different.
He puts the moron in oxy, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Puts the chlamydia in women. You get me? Keep up. It's a different kind of socialism, but I think it's still socialism. Yeah, just a little bit more of a bio. Hassan Piker isn't religious, but he does believe that dressing like a thrift shop manager helps him look like a socialist. That and spreading Russian propaganda. If you're confused about how he can claim to be... If you're confused how someone can claim to be a multi-millionaire while also being a socialist, it's kind of simple. He's not...
I'm not confused on how a millionaire could be a socialist because I don't know what a socialist is. I'm sorry. Should we look that up too? I didn't think that I was here for the lesson. Should we? Alright, bet. I'll look up what a socialist is. How do you even spell it? Socialist. Is that how you spell it? In the dictionary defines socialist as person who advocates practices socialism. Ha 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 ha. Let me see translations of definitions because they so funny. They so funny. Okay, so ha ha. Socialism. Give it a second. A political and economic theory of social organization which advocates that the means of production, distribution, and exchange should be owned or regulated by the community as a whole. So, you could be a millionaire and advocate that social organization which is, you could be a millionaire and feel that production, distribution, and exchange should be owned and or regulated by the community as a whole. You could believe that. Now, if you could see the dangers of why you can not practice certain acts in that belief because of, again, evolution. We see the world evolution, evolving. We see the world evolution, you know, and we can see that if we give our 1,000,000 out of our 2,000,000 to somebody who would just throw it away, it's like, all right, I'm a part of this community too, so I'm gonna regulate that I ain't giving money to this nigga. You feel me? Like, what's the problem? Not even to go, not to propel or take away from anybody, any other side. I'm just trying to understand.
To the redistribution of money, but he is into the redistribution of AIDS through his dog shit videos. Hassan is good at what he does, let me tell you. Hassan is Turkish. I think we could all tell he's from Turkey because he loves getting...
Does he have cards of Hassan jokes? I think that's what this was. I think that's what this little segment was. Cards of Hassan.
What are you doing?
Right.
I think we could all tell he's from Turkey because he loves being...
I
think we could all tell he's from Turkey because he loves being stuffed and roasted by everyone he debates online. Oh my God. Hassan's the kind of lefty to get depression because he finds out his dick leans right.
I would say I solidified my success when I was able to get AOC on my show to play Among Us.
Imagine being a political streamer and your proudest moment is playing video games with a vegan-friendly politician. And this guy's not proud of maybe talking politics with her, you know, going through all the strategies or talking the future of voting.
My fault for the lagging, y'all. I got a lot of tabs open. You know what I'm saying? I gotta organize my life, man. Sorry for the lagging, yeah.
No, playing fucking Among Us.
So basically, he's a political fuckboy.
Yeah.
That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
He's a political fuckboy.
And I want people to have a more positive approach to dealing with.
We're not going through all the whole 25 minutes of this, so we're not gonna deal with who is Hassan. What are we gonna deal with?
Transphobic, transphobia, transphobia.
I'm here to review your homeschooling environment.
Religion has been removed from our schools. They're teaching kids that they don't need.
Transphobic, a little bit, like a little transphobic. Don't get so mad about it. Everyone is transphobic. Okay? Everyone's transphobic. A lot of people have transphobic attitudes. Trans people are transphobic before they recognize that they're trans. They have internalized transphobia.
Hey man, in case you wonder, the reason why you shouldn't be bothered about being called...
So now, I know this is a video about the birth of Evil Abba, but also to throw in a little seed, right? So the definition of transphobic: having or showing a dislike or prejudice against transsexual or transgender people. Okay. Coming from transphobia. Collection of ideas and phenomena that encompass a range of negative attitudes, feelings, or actions towards transgender people or transness in general. Now, the word phobia, it's interesting how, because all of this is relatively, I want to say, new. These terms that we're using are language. The slang and all of this that are becoming accepted and gentrified into our everyday vernacular. The phobia, though, when you break things down, is, in my opinion, and now we can go, because I wanted to make sure I research this on live, so I can't continue on thinking like, alright, all of this is acceptable and standard, because I'm a part of the community too. The standard community, I'm a part of that community too. Everybody is. part of the standard community when you have to wake up and deal with the world. That's the world. It's world standard, right? So now I have to make sure that I go on ahead and do some research into thinking phobia being an extreme or irrational fear of or aversion to something. So y'all throw this word in with this term, transness and transgender and all this. So you throw phobia in when we classify phobia as a sickness. And I want to make sure that I'm not just talking is phobia a disease? First, we're going to go with this. Phobias are diagnosable mental disorders. The person will experience intense distress when faced with the source of their phobia. This can prevent them from functioning normally, and sometimes leads to panic attacks. In the United States, approximately 19 million people have phobias. Okay? Can phobias be cured? Almost all phobias can be successfully treated and cured. Almost all. Simple phobias can be treated through gradual exposure to the object, animal, place, or situation that causes fear and anxiety. Okay? Now, the way people throw the term transphobic and homophobic around as weaponized words when it comes to people who are shaming the community that feels attacked. Isn't weaponizing these two words a form of bashing on mental illness, mental sickness? So when people was out here trying to use that as, oh, that's my shield, that's my defense word, people are attacking me, you're doing the same thing, the same exact thing that you're championing to go against. Like, you're doing the same thing that you're saying that they're doing to you, to a whole other community. And then if you want to bring it back, they used to say that being homosexual or gay or whatever was not a choice. It was it was in the genetics and the chemical balances and all that in your body. So they were trying to put it down to genetics and saying, yo, there could be something in their brain that your brain is processing that makes you this way. You know what I'm saying? So now, in a sense, you're a part of that. I don't want to call it a disorder, but you're part of that mental community where they were saying, yo, it's a balance of chemicals that's hitting you. So you're basically doing the same thing that you're fighting against when you say these two words, right? Transphobic and homophobic. When you use that as a shield, you're actually, it's like you're basically saying, no, you're sick, you need help. You know how people like to use that as like, and some people could take this information and go on ahead and say, yeah, that makes it even better. So now I know it's an actual, yeah, you're sick. Like, because people like to use, terms and weaponize them against people and have an arsenal of different little things that they know are triggering and all that. People like that. There are people like that. But for the most part, I never knew that it was acceptable. I know it's not community standard acceptable to bash on mental illness. You know what I'm saying? There have been songs rewritten and remastered over certain words dealing with mental illness. So like it's when the record company gotta do something about it, it's serious. Same thing like when Rick Ross says she ain't even know it. That's serious thing. So I feel like this is, you know, in a sense, serious discussion. But let's continue.
Everybody's transphobic. Everybody has it in them. Trans people are transphobic. They're transphobic against themselves, against the world. We're all transphobic. It is what it is. The same, we're all racist and we're all everything. It's a thing. So next time you get called transphobic, just mindful. The person calling you transphobic is also transphobic.
Do you see the vacuum? I want to put y'all minds to understand vacuums that people participate in. Like they contribute to that vacuum being a vacuum, and how sometimes it's rewarding to be on the outside looking into something. You know what I'm trying to tell you? That's all I'm really trying to say. Like, it's a vacuum. They just said it. And yeah, jokingly, but there's a truth in almost every joke. You know what I'm saying? So, when you deal with the idea of mental disorders, because of what used to be classified a mental case, is a vacuum. I just want y'all to see that. That's all I wanted to really, like, I just wanted the full circle to come around in this video. That's why it's so dragged out and disorganized, because it's a chaotic subject. But the premise of it is neither side has an advantage over the other. Neither side has an advantage. It's like trying to tell somebody, it's like trying to tell a grown person Santa Claus don't exist. You gotta tell that to them when they a kid, or they gonna grow up really thinking like me. I know Santa Claus exists. And like, boom, I'm gonna tell, let me just break it down when I say that. I know that there are folklores of Krampus. I know that there are I know that though the Santa Claus that comes to everybody's chimney and drops off gifts is not plausible, because not everybody has chimneys. This is done yet? Hold on. That's facts. Not everybody has chimneys, so how you getting gifts to everybody? That's one. I know these like little, but I know the subject of the matter that became all these different depictions of what Santa Claus is and old Saint Nick and all that. That came from a real place. That came from a real story. Like, it's almost like, and my fault for doing this, y'all. This is, listen, it's my channel, man. This is what I do on it. It's like, say, that's like saying people who passed away don't exist. And of course somebody's gonna be like, yo, they don't exist anymore. And again, perspective. But let's go through this then. What's exist? Right? Just have objective reality or being, live, especially under adverse conditions. Okay. So, present tense, to exist is to live, right? and that's the second one. And if you're familiar with me doing these definitions and all that, I use, I mean, whichever one really relates to me, but sometimes I'll use the second definition over the first definition or the first over the second. It doesn't really make a difference to me. But so somebody who has passed, they don't have objective reality. What is objective reality? My fault, y'all. I haven't been in school for a while, so I gotta. In philosophy, objectivity is the concept of truth independent from individual subjectivity. A proposition is considered to have objective truth when its truth conditions are met without bias caused by a sentient subject. Scientific objectivity refers to the ability to judge without partiality or external influence. Objectivity in moral framework calls for moral codes to be assessed based on the well-being of people in the society that follow it. Alright. Okay. I don't even know how we got into all of this from Santa Claus. I don't even know how we got to Santa Claus, old Saint Nick. What I'm saying is, when I say I believe there was a Santa Claus, there is a Santa Claus, I mean in the sense of, and there may be somebody out there named Santa Claus. You don't know. Like, you get what I'm saying? You really just don't know. So to just say, oh, Santa Claus don't exist. Okay, yeah. The Santa Claus that doesn't exist. But there's probably somebody out there collecting reindeers, really going through a psychotic episode. You know what I'm saying? Out there really delivering gifts, spending his savings, delivering gifts. You don't know. Don't know. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm really saying. And how did we even get to Santa Claus? I guess I'll just rewind this back and I'll see.
The person just witnessing the whole conversation, they're transphobic too. Even though they haven't opened their mouth, you can just assume.
Anytime a trans woman wins any kind of prominence, it makes it into the news cycle. And you never hear about them getting their fucking asses beat over and over again. The fighter that Joe Rogan mentions regularly is a perfect example of this. They always go back to that same example where the trans woman fighter, is it Fallon Fox, had like 1 or 2 victories and has lost routinely, but you never hear about how much she has lost.
Alright, so just to wrap this up though, you know what I'm saying? I think I got my point across. Probably didn't explain it as eloquently as possible, but listen, it is what it is.
Okay. This might surprise you. I think that Hassan and us contribute to anti-trans sentiment.
Possibly.
Yes. But I think for like different reasons.
Definitely, yeah. That's not surprising.
Okay. So I've been taking time to reflect and think about this quite a lot, you know, because believe it or not, we don't just put out shit, we try to use our brains every now and then. Some of us just think we just wake up, do you?
I do too, man. Don't be like that.
YouTube and go back to sleep. Today's topic, the whole trans topic is an interesting.
That was my comment.
Because
hold on.
Most people don't interact with trans folks in their lives. By most studies that I've seen, trans people account for maybe 1% or less than that of the population. So it's not like it's a huge number of people. And unlike a racial group or biological sex, transness is not easily seen on somebody. Somebody can have gender dysphoria, identify as trans, and you looking at them won't know. So you may actually be interacting with a trans person and not know it, okay? So the way that the vast majority of the public interacts with transness is through the media. Okay, the most polarizing, the most like extreme stuff, right? Because that's what the media does. The media is trying to get your emotions and your heartstrings going because of the fact that that's what generates views to them. So everyone's takes are on polarizing issues. And in come everyone's favorite dinner topic, right? Trans women in sports. Okay, you might be wondering why trans women? It's because trans men in sports are invisible, right? They don't win anything. Kind of like the USA soccer team. Okay. Fucking losers. All right, maybe those motherfuckers transition, they'd win some, but they don't. They're invisible. So this topic comes up. It's polarizing. It's super polarizing, and the people who are jumping on this topic are the most polarizing folks possible. They're going at it from every political angle, and so I see myself, and I'm commenting on this topic that's in the news because we cover trending topic, and this one especially. But I had to ask myself, why has this one in particular, for me, not for you nearly as much, but for me, stuck around? And you know what I realized?
What'd you realize? And wait. What stuck for you?
This topic of trans women in sports.
Yeah, it really stuck
for more for me than for you.
Oh, definitely.
So I had to think about why we covered it and how that negatively impacts. Because if everyone is just seeing the most extreme stuff and they're hearing like, well, yes, trans women should be competing in sports, and trans women, if you disagree, you're a fucking bigot. Like, that's how people are internalizing trans. That's the only perception that they have most of the time.
Thank you for your vocabulary, sir. That was to full circle back around to when I was saying to you weaponize the word transphobic and homophobic, the words. That's calling a mental person, somebody who has mental issues or a mental condition, a bigot. That's how you're trying to portray it, and that's messed up. And let's just go over to the term bigot real quick. Person who is obstinately or unreasonably attached to a belief, opinion, or faction, especially one who is prejudiced against or antagonistic toward a person or people on the bias of their membership of a particular group. Yeah. I mean, a person who is, not unreasonably. Anyway, so yeah, to go on ahead and wrap it up. And I want to thank, Albert and Preach for providing the conversation between him and Piker and, everybody who is interested in this topic. Just want to thank them for providing the conversation. You know what I'm saying? For people to now go on ahead and even be inclined to want to do some research or study on certain things and gain a feel for how that is, the process of studying and research and all that. So, you know what I'm saying? I know this video was the birth of Evil Abba, but I just wanted to discuss some of the factors that I saw, that contributed to the entire situation. And they commented that this is the end to the saga, and that's interesting enough. Let me see if my comment is there. Let me see. Hold on. It probably is. Because Mandel be in the comments. He be in the comments. Man. Hard to find, though. That's the sad part. Man. Because I know it's there. Still going, yep. You know what? Let's just bring it back up. Just went through enough of these. Maybe I even passed it. This is not narcissism, y'all. I just want to see if it's there. Like, and if it is, hey, don't be a bigot. You get what I'm saying? Oh man. So yeah. Anyway, want to thank y'all for rocking out with me. I'm gonna let this rock for a minute and then we out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Other than watching Euphoria or some shit. So,
and
well, go ahead.
But we had a lot of trans people comment on this shit and be like, no, I agree with what they say. So a lot of people, there's a lot of trans people that agree with what we say, but
could you please tell us who you are? We are from mostly planets Era and Temet.
But that's not what we're gonna highlight. We're gonna highlight extremists, not the level
for good content.
Yeah,
there's some level-headed people who said a lot of interesting mild stuff, and we could have covered that, but we went for the fucking Adele is fatphobic and transphobic because that shit makes your eye pop out.
But it's not so much for the content because it makes your eye pop out. It's because there's a lot of proportion of people that actually think a certain way, and we might have to address that because we disagree on that. But yeah, content.
To me, I'll tell you why this and why that specifically sticks out to me. And this is the
go ahead.
We live in this city, which is hyper liberal.
Yes.
We live in a country that is generally leaning very left. We also work in a field in the arts that also leans left.
Super left.
Okay?
Super left.
So my entire life, I've always been surrounded by the left. I've always identified in terms of like what I vote for, be it socialized healthcare, social programs for those who are in need, in terms of like taxation for people who make a certain income and keeping that high to be able to fund a lot of these stuff. I'm for a lot of these policies, right? And even socially, I'm on board with most of it. But I've also witnessed over the last maybe decade or so how the side that I've always identified with has engaged in a lot of weird censorship, sanctioned violence, and just overall behavior that I find extremely reprehensible. And I've told you this, it's not right-wing folks who are fucking with me nowadays. It hasn't been that for a decade more. The people who saw me at comedy shows, the people who do all this crazy stuff, are the folks who are supposedly on the same side, right?
Most of the time.
And Abba, I just want you to know, my fault if you feel like, you know, any of this is attacking. I just thought it was an interesting, you know, topic to cover. But anyway, thanks. And